What's up? We're here, new episode of Comic Book Movie TV News. We're coming a little bit late, but there is a reason because news is dropping. And we're going to start off with the big news. Superman film, J.J. Abrams will be producing, Ta Nehisi Coates will be writing. Some of you guys may know, I believe he's writing Black Panther comics for Marvel right now.
Yeah.
He's doing their current run.
Mhm.
This is a big deal. Ta-Nehisi Coates is a very prominent writer. A lot of you guys, if you're younger, may have read his stuff growing up in school. I know I did. Um, but Nick, what are your thoughts on this news? It's really new. We don't know. It seems like it's supposed to be a reboot, but what are your thoughts?
I just want Henry Cavill back. I know it's tricky because I'm knock on wood because I enjoyed the show. Like I'm assuming Witcher's gonna get renewed hopefully for season 3. They're in the middle of season 2 right now, but like I really hope Henry Cavill is back. I think he's a great Superman, and I just the chance to see him again. I know we're getting him in the Snyder cut, but the chance to see him again is would be great. I mean, everyone wants it. Everyone, I feel like everyone loves the guy. But I just as long as Henry Cavill's back, then we'll be fine. I think putting him at the focus of it will bring in so many people and so much hype.
Yeah, I mean, I like Henry Cavill Superman. I'm not. I really actually Man of Steel. I'm a massive fan of that movie,
Mhm.
but I'm not like over the moon. But if you're doing a reboot, I mean, I would love to see Michael B. Jordan play Superman.
Mhm.
You know, if they're going the reboot direction, I would prefer if they kept the same Superman because, like, why do we need another reboot of Superman? We just don't, right? I'm tired of. It's like Spider-Man. If they were to reboot Spider-Man again, I'd just be pissed off. Like,
Yeah, like
enough. Just make a good run and
it.
stick with it.
Yeah, like especially with the show Superman and Lois on the CW debuting to like really high acclaim. Like it's definitely a weird because like Superman and Lois also debuted this week. This news is breaking literally as we speak a few days later. So it's like the best way to go would just be the Superman everyone knows, unless you provide a really, really, really good reason for why it's someone else for whatever reason. It just makes sense to go with at least the one that's established already.
Right. If Michael B. I'm telling you though, Michael B. Jordan is the one guy to. If they were announced, Michael B. Jordan is the next Superman, I would be like, whoa.
I mean, he's a popular fan cast for the alternate what's his name, Calvin, is it Calvin Ellis? Yeah, Calvin Ellis version of him. So like I don't know. I'm just as long as they can provide a legitimate reason, like if it's like going the way like the Flash movies doing the multiverse or whatever, then it's like okay, sure, I guess. But it just has to be a good reason. Otherwise, just stick with Henry Cavill.
All right,
Give them another Superman
I
film.
have my pitch. I have my pitch.
Mhm.
Let me know if you think like this movie. A new Superman movie coming from Ta-Nehisi Coates as the writer, Ryan Coogler is the director, and Michael B. Jordan is starring in the film, and it's being produced by J.J. Abrams.
You said Ryan Coogler directing.
Yes. I
I
know he
mean,
has an exclusive deal with Disney, but that's for television, not for film.
yeah. I mean, hey, James Gunn's doing jump Marvel. Well, he was a bit of a different circumstance, but like he jumped from Marvel to DC. But so hey, why not? I guess that's its own pitch. We have a lot to talk about. Like, I would love to go down that rabbit hole of like who could be assembled in this theoretical project because that's an interesting pitch.
I mean, yeah, it's just it opens a whole this Ta-Nehisi Coates
Yeah.
and JJ producing Superman. We know JJ had been looking at it. We didn't know, and he was going to have some sort of creative control on the character,
Mhm.
but we didn't know was he rebooting it? Is he not? That was a big debate over the summer. There was a lot of news with contradicting stories, and I think we're still going to have to look at that going forward. Like,
Mhm.
what does a reboot mean? Does the Flash movie have anything to mean that like a reboot may be with the same Superman? It's just like,
Yeah.
something's different about it. We don't know. Is it a reboot like the new Suicide Squad movie? It's a soft reboot, kind of.
Right.
Um, there are all these different avenues that are still open to explore.
Right.
Moving on to our next thing of news, though, Black Adam casts Marwen Kenzari. You may know him as Jafar from Aladdin. or you may know him from one of the characters in the Old Guard. Nick, you heard this news. What are your thoughts?
I'm actually like pleasantly excited. I feel like it's pretty cool that it's always just exciting, just especially because I feel like Black Adam's like casting is like had a lot of eyes on it, like who's getting added to like co-star with The Rock. I like Kenzari. I liked him more in the Old Guard than I did Aladdin, but like both were like I think really good performance. I think he had a whole like declaration of love monologue in the Old Guard, which I think became like a fan favorite scene. I think it's pretty cool. I'm intrigued to see how he fits into it. There's been some rumors he's playing a villain. Um, so that'll be interesting if we end up seeing him fighting The Rock. He's already fought alongside Charlize Theron. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to see how. I don't know if this is the final casting. I think they have one more person. I think they have the character Dr. Fate to cast still, but yeah, it's exciting to see. I think they're starting to shoot soon, so that project's coming together really well.
Yeah, each casting gets me more and more excited for this film. I'm really curious to see how it turns out, but The Rock as Black Adam is must see.
Right, 100%.
Moving on, we have Daisy Ridley saying that she would want to play Spider-Woman. Nick, do you think you would be down for her to play Spider-Woman?
Sorry, I'm not hesitating because I'm like process. I'm just like trying to like get my thoughts in order because like I know there was like it was like Loki confirmed that Olivia Wilde might do a Spider-Woman movie. I have no idea how that'll fit. I guess we'll find out post the Tom Holland's third Spidey film if there's like any ramifications on how Sony and Marvel do their thing. But I mean, I'm down to see Daisy Ridley. I've always kind of like in my head of the quartet of the sequels, Driver, Isaac, Boyega, and Ridley. I always felt that like Ridley and Boyega were the ones that like would have to battle, I guess, typecasting the most, like just like because they were kind of the newer actors of the sequels. Like Boyega's kind of already doing it with small acts, so um, I'm excited. Anything I will try and support anything that Ridley's in to try and help her break out of the Ray because I think she's a great actress. I think she did great even in Murder on the Orient Express. I think she's awesome as a person. So hey, I'm excited to see it. Not Chaos Walking though. I probably won't go see that, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah, if this happens or just any new projects featuring her, I'd love to support her in any way I can.
My thing is, I think Daisy Ridley is a really talented actress.
Mhm.
I think she pulls the most out of the character of Ray that you possibly can. I think that character is almost underwritten for her capabilities, at least in episodes, mostly episode 9, but episode 7 a little bit as well. I think as far as her character development, that she's not given the most, and I think she does the most with it.
Yeah.
And I think as a hero, she's a really likable person, and I think she creates really likable characters. So I would be definitely down for that. I think depending on how the character is written in the script, we haven't seen her necessarily go to those emotional depths as much. But I would be down, and I think she deserves to be more known as more than just Rey from Star
Right.
Wars.
Exactly, 100%.
And if it's a co-produced movie with Sony and Marvel, I mean, she's in the Disney family, and we know that being in the Disney family goes a long way in getting cast in these movies.
Very true.
Moving on, we have another thing of Star Wars news. Ezra Bridger possibly to be played by Mena Massoud.
Another Aladdin 2019 alum.
Yeah. I gotta go first, man, because if this is true, I am so excited about this. He kills it as Aladdin. I'm a massive fan of the live action Aladdin movie. I know not a lot of people are. I will defend that movie till my dying day. I think it's awesome. And I think the energy he brings would be perfect for Ezra. At least the younger version of Ezra, right? We don't know what happened in this 5 years, and that's the curveball that could be thrown that maybe doesn't perfectly fit this. Maybe this Ezra is more gritty, or what has he had to do to survive? I could totally buy him as Ezra Bridger. I think he has the energy to be a main character. I know if you've heard about him after Aladdin, he's talked about really struggling to get roles, which I don't get because he seems like a really talented actor. But
Right.
Nick, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, same thing as Ridley, especially like it's always tricky, I feel, when your big debut is like a big pop culture role. Like I feel like some people like have managed it well, like during transition. Sometimes I feel like for instance, like Lana Condor from To All the Boys, I would love to see her like branch out beyond that. So she's just not, oh, she's the girl from To All the Boys. And I think similar with Daisy Ridley, similar with Mena Massoud, this is a chance to just like add another like another character, great character to their filmography, then I'm all for it. He also like he really does look like an older Ezra. I've been trying to find I've been like um there's a guy from the show iZombie that was another popular fan cast, but like he really could like if he just showed up, like he looks like the part already. So um I don't know. We'll see. This news whenever down the road may just end up out to be false, but I mean it's nice to think about now.
Right, right. And the news was confusing because one person said he had been like offered the role, and another said they were circling him for the role, and another said he was in the final casting for a role. So it's conflicting reports, which usually is like, is this true? Maybe, maybe not. Like, but I think if it is, that'd be really exciting. Start the fan casting movement. I mean, that's how part of how Rosario Dawson got noticed and thought about for that part.
Right.
Maybe it could be the same thing if Man Massoud wants it. So if you're down for it, start photoshopping.
Right.
Um, moving on, Marvel announced, well, Kevin Feige specifically, that there will be no other rated R projects other than Deadpool at Disney as of the moment. And he talks about specifically it's because none of these other stories need to be rated R to
Yeah.
work. Um, Nick, what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that, like specifically talking about Blade, that makes sense, or would you want to see Blade rated R in the MCU?
I'm torn. I feel like we've had this conversation a few times before. Like, there is still a lot you could pull off under a PG-13 rating. I mean, The Dark Knight is probably the one that skewed the surface of like could have been rated R, like, but like it still managed to get that PG-13 rating. So I mean, it's possible. I mean, it's possible it could. Or I'm just like I'm just also torn just because like a Mortal Kombat movie only works if it's rated R. Well, like, because that's the only way you can authentically produce it. A Blade movie is like, at least from my understanding, the character the same. Moon Knight they probably could get away with. Just like I don't know, it's tricky. I feel like it's a tricky thing to walk. At least for Blade right now, Moon Knight they could get away with if they want to pursue like a Dark Knight Daredevil type vibe. Um, Blade is a lot of like monster heart like body horror, a lot of like him ripping people in half, guts flying everywhere. So like I don't know. I mean they've announced Disney Plus Star. I thought they were gonna just put their rated R shows there, but I don't know. It's interesting. I guess we'll just have to, I'll personally will have to see how that develops.
I'm fine with it, and I think you can get away with most of the stuff in Blade
Hmm.
rated PG-13. I think because they're vampires, depending on the vampire, how the human the vampires look, you may or may not be able to get away with cutting vampires in half and all that sort of stuff. Um,
Hmm.
Swearing, I don't, swearing is cool and stuff, but I don't think it's necessary for the MCU. I don't
Yeah,
think it's needed.
I'm not even concerned about like the swearing. Like they've been, they like you can get clever with the language
Right.
on your own. That part's fun. I think I don't know. I my what I love to see Blade just like rip the guy's head off, fatality style. I'm like yeah, that's how the character's been done. But I don't know. It depends how we go. The Dark Knight again is like that one example of like it managed to like just skirt the surface of rated R, but like it still worked out fine for the PG-13 rating. So I guess we'll see how that goes at least.
Yeah, I think it can go. I would lean towards just you can do a PG-13, and if you can, I think it's just better for the MCU, man. I don't think setting the precedent that we're going to tell rated R stories fits because then you're going to have your fan base clamoring for everything to be rated R. You know, like the DCEU kind of has that problem right now.
I feel it wouldn't necessarily like if they were confirmed like yeah we're gonna be doing Punisher again and they were like Punisher's not gonna be rated R, I'd be kind of like okay I guess that's I don't know if I would totally vibe with that. I feel like it works for certain characters and that like they're willing to like go that like I'm okay with the Suicide Squad being rated R because it's just like it's dealing with a bunch of villains who don't give a crap about like who they like maim and murder, so it's like okay that works
Right.
for them. um like Deadpool 3, good. That's rated R. That's the only way that was gonna work, I feel. Um, I don't think it would necessarily set a precedent. I don't think like everyone's clamoring because like the MCU has a larger and more covers a more a diverse fan base than like DC. So it's like um, they have to like maintain that like they have to maintain their kid audience. They have to maintain that like all accessibility, especially under Disney. So like I wouldn't say I feel like it would be for certain choice characters. I feel like the comic book fans would like roll with it, and then I don't think you'd lose any of the audience in that way.
I don't think you necessarily lose the audience, but one, you'd lose major box office.
Mm.
Um, and two, I think just it it opens up a door that you don't necessarily want to open up. It's like, well, this movie could have gone PG-13. You could have made it PG-13, but you decided to make it R. So like, you're gonna get fans that start asking for certain movies rated R that don't necessarily need to like. And I think it doesn't help the Marvel brand as much as just saying it's PG-13. There are very few properties that need to be rated R, so this is
I mean
how we're gonna go.
that's why I was always scared about Deadpool because I was like they're definitely gonna make Deadpool PG-13 and it's not gonna work because they have to maintain their brand, which makes his whole admission that like yeah no Deadpool 3 is gonna be rated R. I was like okay that's an interesting. I was like okay I didn't expect that from you because they'd have to protect the brand.
Right. I think they will. I think Alan Horn had talked about it before that they weren't going to change up Deadpool 3 because it would have been a mistake. And I think that'll work really interesting within the MCU, and Deadpool cameos will be like the next big thing. But moving on, we have another thing. A Blue Beetle movie's announced. Nick, are you excited about this movie when you heard about it?
I mean, one first, superhero is going to be really exciting, and they're also starting production really fast. I think the report said they're trying to start in the fall, which is crazy because DC has a bad tendency to just announce things and then never do anything with it. So like I think like it seems they're really confident in this. They're really going ahead with this. It's still DCEU connected. Especially be even more excited if they cast Cobra Kai's Xolo Maridueña as the protagonist. I know he's like one of the most like popular and arguably overdone fan cast, but like he's so perfect for the role. And like as long as they cast him, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. I don't know too much about the director, Angel Manuel Soto, but as long as they cast Xolo, I think it'll be so exciting. He looks the part. He's one of the best performers on Cobra Kai. I mean, there's a lot of great performers on that show, but as long as they cast him, I think it'll be great. I'll be excited to see if this comes out in theaters or Max because I know they were kicking around like doing like special like DC like exclusives on Max, but I'm hoping they do a theatrical release, especially since like there's a giant gap between the Batman and the Flash next year, so Blue Beetle could help cover that space and time.
Yeah, put it in. When in doubt, just put it in theaters. I want to see it on the big screen.
Mhm.
Um, this movie's been in development for a few years now. Things got really quiet for like a year and a half, though. It
Mhm.
was one that we were like, oh, another DC movie that's never going to get talked about or made.
Yeah.
Um, and then they're like, boom, we're starting production this fall. And we're like, where did this come from? We thought this thing wasn't going to happen. And I was
Right.
like, this is pretty awesome. Um, I'm excited. The character is Latino, right?
Yeah, Latino.
That's cool. I don't know a lot about the character, but I'm all for Latinos being represented in movies.
Mhm.
Doesn't really happen that much in you don't really see it in Marvel unless it's Zoe Saldana wearing green. But as far as like human characters, you don't really see it. I'm excited that DC's going that route. Hopefully, it's a good movie. That's always the priority. But I'm excited for that, and depending on how it's handled, it could be a really meaningful movie. I think
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I don't know a lot about the director though. I've never seen any of his films, so
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say on that part.
Mhm.
Moving on though, the new Flash movie, has cast another character, Sarah, or sorry,
Sasha.
Sasha Calle, as Supergirl. Nick, are you familiar with her, and what do you think about
She,
this casting?
she's new actress, more or less. She's on the show The Young and the Restless, which I watched like the most recent episode just to like see what she's like. Um, don't know much about how this will factor into the movie. I don't know if she's like alternate universe, if she's supposed to be related to Henry Cavill. This was only last week, which makes today's Superman J.J. Abrams news even more like just what the hell's happen? What the hell's happening? Like what direction? But I know at the very least the video Andy Muschietti posted of telling her that like your Supergirl is one of the best. Like that made my day. It was just so heartwarming to see her like so just excited and like overwhelmed. It was just really cool. It kind of reminded me of when The Rock posted his or like his conversation with Aldous Hodge when he was casted. Like I don't know, that's cool just to see like actors like just be like so excited to be superheroes or whatever. So um, I know they started filming too, or starting to. So I guess we'll be seeing more castings. We got her, we got Ben Affleck, we got Michael Keaton. It's crazy stuff, crazy stuff.
Yeah, and rumors there are people questioning whether this character is replacing like the character of Cyborg.
Yeah,
Uh, I know at least for me, like there's no point in speculating that, to be honest.
mhm.
It's like maybe she is, maybe she isn't, but I don't think putting that lens on her character is necessarily fair
Yeah.
to her as an actress or the film itself, based on something that is way above anyone other than way above the director's head for sure.
The Ray Fisher situation is its own topic, and like as much as like just put it out there, I do support him in what he's doing. I to put like to try and like attach that like if you'll put like a negative lens on her, like people will be looking at her and be like, oh, this is what X, Y, and Z was happened to Ray Fisher. I feel like that she deserves to be known as Supergirl, and she's the big silver screen Supergirl, and yeah, I mean, again, she was just so excited. I think she'll be great. I hope you know she does more with it because it seems like she was really just enthusiastic for it. So I think that's what she should be known for.
Yeah, I 120% agree. Moving on though, we have a few other casting news. Uh, Rachel Zegler cast in Shazam 2. Nick, do you have any quick thoughts on that one?
Um, well, she was supposed to make her film debut in Spielberg's West Side Story. So if that had come out as planned, then I probably would have had more thoughts. But alas, that got pushed to later this year. That's another cool one. There's a lot of hype building around her as the new female lead for West Side Story. The character Maria is really iconic. So, um, hey, anything to see that like star power get boosted. No word on who she's playing, but um, hey, I'm always excited. I think they're started to film soon as well. So just a lot of these got a lot of stuff going on. So um, just excited for a new casting.
Yeah, I'm ready for Shazam 2. I like the first one. I wasn't the biggest fan, but it's one of those movies. It's like Captain Marvel. I'm not a big fan of the first movie, but
Mhm.
I see the potential for the character. I really love the character. and I think they can be elevated in a sequel. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Mhm.
Moving on, we have two last things. Loki is coming June 11th, and Bad Batch is coming May 4th. Um, Loki, we've kind of talked about a lot, and we already know, there's no big hints on what else it could be about right now. But let's focus on Bad Batch. Are you excited for the series, or has it kind of your excitement been
Yeah.
tempered through the year off?
Um, well, first, I'm surprised nobody's Star Wars has never released something on May the 4th unless something slipped my mind. I'm like when that happened, I was like, when they announced it, I was like, oh my God, like, like that's your date. That's like, well, you guys never released something there. So I guess it was about time. I'm more excited for it than I was when the project was announced. I don't know how much I can't remember how much we talked about this on the channel, but I'm really intrigued by the idea of this show. I didn't think it was necessary at first. I thought it was just like, oh, Filoni's just trying to squeeze as much out of the Clone Wars as he still can. But I think there's a lot of cool stuff. There's a really interesting like Suicide Squad, Black Ops vibe going along with this. So um, I'm here for it. I trust. It's in one of those. He would only do this for a reason type thing. So I think it's going to be cool. I mean, it'll be our only Star Wars content until at least Book of Boba Fett. So, not complaining.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, and here's the reason why: because I did not really like Bad Batch, to be perfectly honest, in the Clone Wars.
Mhm.
I really think that this series can explore an era that is really fascinating. This turn from the Republic to the Empire. What are those first few years like? What happens to the clones? How do they get phased out? What does it mean to be a clone and like this changing of the guard? Like those
Yeah,
are all really fascinating questions to me. And this world post the Republic and the Jedi, maybe they're Jedi hunting too. That is such juicy material to cling on to and really go for it.
100%. Yeah. Like the moment in the trailer that really sold me is when the Palpatine speech was shown. Because I was just like, oh, we're getting like the immediate aftermath of Revenge of the Sith, which I think like what type of chaos is that? The wars ended, but the government has completely been obliterated and changed, and now all of a sudden the Jedi are all dead. It's like that's a lot of chaos to like go through. So um yeah, May 4th, it's gonna be good. As long as we got Star Wars content, riding the hype of Mandalorian season 2, I think it's gonna be good. I'm confident.
Dude, Disney is Plus is killing it right now. They're going from WandaVision to Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Bad Batch to Loki. And then after that, you'll be getting Captain Marvel, and not Captain Marvel, sorry, Miss Marvel in the late fall.
What if it's
And then
getting
you're going to be
funny
getting
there?
Hawkeye.
Yep,
Yeah, and what if? I mean, they're killing it. They're having one TV show to the next, and there's no
they're,
stop.
they're doing their thing.
They went from having a really slow start to really picking it up, and I'm so impressed with this 180 that Disney Plus has done.
They're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. And on the
Not to be a
pivot of
Disney show.
Disney, and on the pivot of Disney, I guess we'll have to talk about Spider-Man, the
Oh,
title.
that's right. Gosh, there's so much news we almost forgot about it. Spider-Man No Way Home. What does it mean? I don't know. I don't know. We got a few first images, but they really tell us absolutely nothing except for Ned Zendaya and, well, sorry,
Peter.
Ned, MJ, and Tom, Peter. I'm
Yeah.
mixing up characters with actors. Um, are all together. Do you think this gives any hints to what's going on? Does he stuck in another part of the multiverse? Like
I
what?
think like I don't know. I feel at this point, like to do any deduction is just to add on to like, I'm like, there are other people who are already doing that. Like, I'm content to just like sit back and just like, you know, get a trailer. I mean, the movie's coming out this year. A trailer has to be imminent at some point. Um, I mean, I got people breaking down all the fake titles they produced. They're like, wait, the colors coordinate to something. I was like, maybe they do. I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know like what the hell's happening with this project. So many stuff is flying around. I'm just willing to just um I'll wait till the first trailer. I feel there's like, I mean, the Homecoming was, because Homecoming and Far From Home were like relatively straightforward titles. The only one that was like kind of double meaning was Homecoming, because it was like, oh, Spider-Man is back with Marvel or whatever. So who knows? Who knows? I like the little board they had in that teaser where it's like they had all the alternate names or whatever. People are gonna be breaking that down till the end of time. Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. For all we know, it's just Peter has been like Peter's like on the run per se, because like, and he can't get home because everyone's like, people think he murdered Jake Gyllenhaal. So I don't know. Who knows?
Let me give you my pitch on when we make it the trailer.
Yeah,
WandaVision ends episode 9 next Friday.
and then they chain it
We either
together.
get it right after WandaVision or the week after that before Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Because maybe something in WandaVision will play into the new Spider-Man movie, and that's why they're waiting to release a trailer.
That would bridge that gap. It would just be WandaVision on Friday, May 12th. Nothing's happening. Well, actually, funny enough, the one thing that would be happening, at least from if my calendar is correct, is Cherry's dropping. So Tom Holland would have a really busy week if that happens. Um, and then after that is Falcon. I mean, it makes sense because they drop how many trailers? Like 2, 3-ish trailers?
2 or 3. It could be a 1-minute trailer that's just
Or like a teaser
a collection of shots more than a
Yeah.
story trailer.
In that case, I feel like a teaser will be like March. They'll wait till the summer to do the official, and then one last one right before the film comes out. But
Right.
I'd buy it. I mean, it'd be a great way. It'd be like when Iron Fist season 2's post credit scene had like Daredevil, and it was like, oh, because that's coming in a few weeks. So um I'd buy it if that was their marketing plan.
Anyways, I think that's all we got with that's it. It's a ton of news we got this week. That's all the news that we have this week so far. Something new will drop in the next 2 hours or so while I'm editing this. But let us know what you guys thought of all this news, especially Superman. What do you want to have happen with Superman? Daisy Ridley as Spider-Woman, Mena Massoud as Ezra Bridger, these new casting news that we've gotten, like all of this stuff. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.